Okay, let's dive into the secret history of songs that were made for one single reason: to be completely and totally unforgettable.
I mean, really think about it for a second. A song with, like, barking dogs for a melody, or one about a one-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater. Yeah, we've all heard them. And these strange, hilarious, and sometimes just plain bizarre songs actually have a special name and a really fascinating story. They're called novelty songs. And the entire point is to just grab your attention with a weird concept or a funny story. So unlike a regular pop song, a novelty song is basically engineered to be what scientists call an earworm. You know, that tune that gets stuck in your head and just will not leave.
So what is the secret recipe for making a comedy hit? Well, it turns out there are a few key ingredients. Okay, so first it all starts with a weird idea, something nobody else would ever think of singing about. Then you write lyrics that are genuinely funny or just strange. After that, you sprinkle in some totally unexpected sound effects, and you wrap the whole thing in a melody that's so catchy it's basically glue for your brain. It's a formula for instant attention.
These silly songs might seem like a pretty modern thing, something from the internet age, but they actually have a really long and hilarious history. Let's see where this all got started.
Now, what's really cool here is how technology just kept pushing these songs forward. It all started way back, over 100 years ago, with vaudeville performers on stage making funny records to cheer people up. Then, flash forward to the 50s and 60s, radio DJs figured out these weird tracks were perfect for keeping listeners hooked, and they turned them into huge chart-topping hits. And today, well, with the internet, anyone with a funny idea and a smartphone can become a global sensation almost overnight.
So, how exactly do they make these songs so funny? Believe it or not, it's not just random. There's kind of a playbook of secret techniques. Let's take a look.
One of the oldest tricks in the book, and one of the most effective, is just messing with sounds. See, our brains are basically hardwired to notice things that sound unusual, and these songwriters use that to their advantage.
And this just shows you how creative they had to be. We're talking about speeding up vocal tracks to get those classic, high-pitched chipmunk voices. Or literally, painstakingly cutting up pieces of audio tape with dogs barking on them and splicing them back together to match a famous melody. They'd also use sound effects, like a slide whistle or a cartoon boing, to act as a punchline, painting a whole picture in your mind without even using words.
Now, not all novelty songs are created equal. They actually come in a few different flavors, and I can pretty much guarantee you've heard all of them.
Two of the biggest types are parody and satire. So a parody takes one specific super famous song and just rewrites the lyrics to be about something completely ridiculous and funny. Satire, on the other hand, is a little broader. It doesn't just make fun of one song, it mocks an entire genre of music or maybe a big trend that's happening in culture at the time.
But some of these songs aren't just for listening. They're actually a set of instructions. They're designed from the ground up to get you out of your chair and onto the dance floor.
The formula for a dance craze is actually genius because it's so simple. You start with a beat that's super easy to follow, then the lyrics literally tell you exactly what to do. Put your hands here, hop on one foot, that kind of thing. The moves are silly and simple on purpose so that absolutely anyone can join in. The goal isn't to look cool, it's just to have fun together.
So imagine this. You have a huge hit song. Everybody knows it, everybody loves it, you're a star. But for a lot of novelty artists, that success comes with a big catch, and it has everything to do with this number right here.
They become one-hit wonders. Their one weird song becomes legendary, but they just can't seem to capture that magic a second time. And it makes sense if you think about it. A great joke is hilarious the first time you hear it, but it's really hard to make it land over and over again. For these songs, the novelty, the newness of it all, wears off by its very definition.
It's really easy to just write these songs off as disposable fun. But if you look a little closer, their legacy in music is surprisingly huge. These songs are kind of like musical time capsules. They perfectly capture the sense of humor of a specific time. They're also this great reminder that music doesn't always have to be super serious. Sometimes it can just be fun. And because humor is a universal language, these silly songs have this incredible power to bring people together for a laugh. And you can see their influence everywhere today, from catchy commercials to the viral sounds that become massive internet memes.
So that leaves us with one final question to think about. What is the silliest, most ridiculous song you know? What made it work so well? Was it a weird voice, a hilarious story, or maybe a crazy dance? Once you figure that out, you'll totally get why, for more than 100 years, we've all loved songs that are just a little bit silly.